Good evening, my darlings. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Alchemy Accordance, Victoria, what do I call myself? Victoria Astro Secrets. Yeah, that's my new name. So, we're coming up to the end of the month. Please subscribe to my newsletter because I will be doing my newsletter. I will also be doing a full rundown for the month of November for Patreon on Friday. And I am free for readings, so please come along for readings. I'll leave all the info. So today we're going to catch up from the last time I spoke to you, which was the day of the robbery at Le Louvre. So we have as always, a lot to cover. We've just had, we then had the Benjamin storm. We then had the Melissa storm in Jamaica. Melissa means honey bee. And I keep on banging on and explaining to you that le bee, le bab, Babylon, the whore of Babylon, the bee is the heart. And the heart passage is what we are going through. I explained in the last video as well that I have officially worked out that since 1981, the triple conjunctions, the year that Diana married, so 1961, the year that she was born, was the last conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in the fire element. And the trigone conjunctions of Saturn and Jupiter happen in the same element for a period of 250 years. So that means that the last 500 years, Saturn and Jupiter met in fire and then in water. So who rules the fire signs? Sun, Leo is ruled by the Sun, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Aries is ruled by Mars. So fire is ruled by Sun, Jupiter, and Mars. And the water signs, Pisces again ruled by Jupiter, Scorpio ruled by Mars, and Pisces and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So the sun and the moon, there will be no need of the sun and the moon in the kingdom of God. Leo, sun rules Leo, moon rules Cancer. For the lamp shall be lit. So we're now going into the element of earth and air, and officially 1981, the year that Diana got married, we had a triple conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in Virgo, ruled by Mercury. Then in the year 2000, we had a Saturn and Jupiter conjunction in Taurus, ruled by Venus. So Diana was killed just before. She is the moon goddess. Diana, she is the mother. She's middle class. We always have the mutable signs. So mutable is Virgo and the earth element. Fixed is Taurus in the earth element. This is the triple goddesses. This is the Virgin, Virgo, the mother, Taurus, and Hecate, the old woman, in Capricorn. So 2020 was really the finishing of that first trine of earth elements, and now we're going to repeat that process for the next 250 years. So, you know, it takes a bit of time to move out of an element into a new element. So by the time we've had a conjunction in Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, we have, you know, we've officially come into the pagan period. We're back to the pagan period. We're back to black. We're back to the Middle Ages. So the Battle of Hastings, 1066, was exactly the same passage as we've just had. 1961, last conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in Sagittarius, same thing in 1047, and then they had the new conjunction in Virgo just after the Battle of Hastings. So I'll be showing you all this in my posts, but I'm just trying to recap. So I keep telling you the earth, to get her, the ether, earth is an anagram of the heart. So when we are living, this is all the period of the Middle Ages. So we're really coming back to black. Mercury, Saturn and Venus. Venus in Taurus has been killed. Tropical astrology has us in doing this trigone in air. So that's why Venus is taking on in the energy of Libra and taking away the mother. They're jumping straight to the masculine energy of Venus in Libra. So this is very important, and this is why we're going through. St. Andrew has officially fallen. We're coming off the mutable cross at the same time. So we're not only are we moving from these different elements, but we're officially leaving the sun and the moon, the parents, the pair that rents, and we are coming to the Twin Peaks, to Saturn's home of, you know, Jack and Jill. They have to get up that hill, Mercury, Virgo and Gemini, and they have to wind up that hill and come to Aquarius and Capricorn. So we're closing a cycle as well of 26,000 years. So we really have this next 250 years to get onto the correct cross and be ready for the next trigone, which will be the air elements again. Saturn rules Aquarius, Saturn rules Capricorn, that's earth and air. Mercury rules Virgo, earth, and Mercury rules air, Gemini, and Venus rules Taurus, earth, and Venus rules Libra, air. So the next 250 years, we're going through her, Mercury, onto the fixed cross, through the heart to get her. And we've got, you know, at the moment, we've got Jupiter in air. Here he is, right on this Procyon, this proton. So we had, the last time I spoke to you, I'll take you back. So the jewels were stolen. The jewels were stolen on the 19th. On the 19th of October, as the sun was on Blue Star Spica, as the moon was on Venus just before the new moon on the 21st, the crown, she is the celestial virgin. She is the passage. She is the passageway. She holds the crown, the whore of Babylon. So in my little village, they painted our Virgin Mary. They took her crown off at the same time. And we had Mercury and Mars conjunct. Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, as Venus is in detriment. This is the whore of Babylon, Venus. So they're crowning her, the moon goddess. They've killed Diana, and we're making this dirty Diana. The moon is conjunct to Venus, and Mercury is conjunct to Mars. Mars is in detriment, and Venus is in full. Venus is exalted in Pisces opposite, in full in Virgo. Mars rules Aries opposite and is in detriment in Libra. So mutual reception going on, and this is crowning the whore of Babylon. And then we have, you know, they're taking her crown, the jewels, 88 million. That is the ladder. They show you the ladder. They climb up the ladder. And what do you have on the two sides of Jesus to come onto the fixed cross? You've got the two thieves. So what's happened? Two thieves were caught, and the two thieves come from Saint-Denis. And Saint-Denis is, I was talking about it last year when we had the hurricane in North Carolina, because I was explaining the day before that hurricane happened, I did a big thing about the floor of Ida, the core, the body of Ida, the monsters of the ID. This is what's going to happen now. On the 1111 Armistice Day, we're going to have the walks in London against the monsters of the id. This is the core, the body, the heart, the flesh of the Virgin. It's no longer the heart passage. You've always got Jesus showing his heart and also the Virgin Mary showing his heart, which is really this axis of Pisces Virgo. Venus exalted in Jesus, and at his feet you have Mary Magdalene, the whore of Babylon. So now Earth is back to that material energy, this fire, air and water are not material. This is the cosmic egg. That's why my village is Aignan. It's the egg of Inanna, the Ishtar, Easter, the Easter egg. So the whore of Babylon is crowned in the 5-pointed star of my village. Her crown was taken, the celestial virgin, and it was taken on the day that the sun was on Spica, blue star Spica. And now we've just had, and I explained that the heart is called Lebab. It is Lebab. It is Lebe. It's my surname. My surname is Lebe. I phoned my ex-husband and said, wow, Fabrice, did you know that Lebe means, but they just mock me and nobody gets it. So, and then I can't believe it, Melissa is the honeybee. So then we had on the 21st, after that robbery, we have the second new moon, which makes a black moon when you have two new moons in two new moons. So we had on the last new moon on the September the 21st, we had Storm Gabrielle in Ibiza, IB, and now we've got, for the second new moon, then we've got Benjamin in Europe, and now we've just had in Jamaica Melissa, which is the bee, the honeybee. And in Ibiza, we had Ibiza in 9/21, and in 10/21, we have on the harvest, on the blue, on this Tess de d'Urberville, Tesla. And at the same time, we have Nicolas Sarkozy, the president in France, who was put for the fall. This is, we're going into winter. It's no longer the girl, Perspiron, that creates the winter, but we've got Sarkozy being locked up in jail and his wife, Carla Bruni, walking next to him, and she doesn't go to prison. He goes into prison. So Nicolas is a play on Nikola Tesla, as we've got Tess de d'Urberville on the wheat. We've got this new moon here. So this is just more stuff that I'm going to be covering, showing to you today. So we are now, and before all this happened, Pluto went direct. So Pluto went direct. Pluto went direct on the 13th of October, and I didn't say anything to you, I don't think. But he is playing opposite Jupiter. So Pluto is the Earth sign, Capricorn. This is where the last conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter was, in Capricorn. And today, as I speak now, we have got the moon conjunct to Pluto. So the moon's just moving away from Pluto now, and we are on the last quarter moon. So we've just had that today, very powerful in Pluto, and this is happening opposite Jupiter. So let's go and have a look, show the chart. First quarter, yeah, it is first quarter, not last quarter. because we had the new moon. We had the new moon on the 21st. So now we are at the first quarter. So the new moon was in Virgo, and this moon is therefore still, it's just in, it should just be in Sagittarius. Yeah, but the moon was right at the end of Virgo. So the new moon was right at the end of Sagittarius. So again, it's that game on Jupiter rules Sagittarius, Saturn rules Capricorn, and here is Jupiter with Earth, conjunct to Earth, the heart. What does Jupiter want the most? He does not rule earth nor fire. He rules only, nor air. He rules only fire and water. He rules Sagittarius and Pisces. So look, he's conjunct Earth, and we've got this wonderful grand trine, and we've still got the capstone. You know, this is Le Louvre, this is the capstone. We've had the capstone. I've been showing you the tree of life with this capstone between Pluto, Saturn and Neptune and Uranus. So yeah, we've got a double one going on here. Uranus, Saturn and Neptune working with Pluto, and we have got another one now working with Mars and Mercury. Mercury is moving into Scorpio right now, not quite in Scorpio. Let's go back to now. Mercury will be just in Scorpio as we speak, and he made that move today. So this morning he was in Libra, and now at the time I'm coming to you at 1852, he is in Scorpio. So this is always about rising the eagle. The eagle is the egg. It's the aigle. It is the egg of Inanna. It is to be the new MC. We're going to have Agenda 21 and then Agenda 30 in 2032. That eagle should be ready to rise to take the MC. But D'Artagnan kills the Scorpio. And what is Scorpio? Scorpio is Europe. So Mercury is just coming in, and he's going to go retrograde on 9/11, and Jupiter is going to go retrograde on 11/11, and then they're going to have the whole of England. So I put the transits, which is silly because they'll be exactly where all the planets are, because this is right now. So Uranus is still retrograde. Pluto is now direct. So this is very powerful, this first quarter moon conjunct to Pluto, and now Pluto is direct, and this is opposite Jupiter. And Jupiter wants, what does he want? He wants Earth. He wants this matriarchal. So Brigitte Macron is in court against the people who are calling her a woman, and one of the lawyers is Joan Branco, who I've always told you is going to rise. Brigitte Macron is BM, like Bob Marley. Jamaica, the jam of the AI. Jamaica is 77. Its longitude, latitude is 77. This is the whore of Babylon. The 7-7 makes the triangle. The 2 sevens, all for one and one for all, makes 777. 21. The Heart Passage, Le Louvre, the Den, Jamaica. So Bob Marley, Brigitte Macron, BM, B, the B. Melissa is the B. So B is 13, and B is also the number 2, but it's also the 1 and the 3, and M is 13. So it's always a play on the Whore of Babylon, the Bab, BB, BB is MM with the A in the middle, that's the Eiffel Tower, and the two B's, 1313, is the torso field, which I'll be showing you in the pictures. So in France, the big news radio is also called BFM, B, female to male. So I really don't get into that anymore, you know. And the silly thing about all that is that, you know, this is Apollo. The jewels were taken from Apollo. Apollo is the unity of sexes. So you've got Apollo and Helios, you've got the morning star, the morning Mercury and the evening Mercury. You've got the more evolved Apollo. The jewels have been taken Apollo. This is the dark side now, Helios of Mercury and the sun. So the evening Mercury, when the sun is hidden, is Helios energy, and the morning Mercury is the more evolved. So in Le Louvre, the jewels were taken from the Apollo room. He's over. The educated Mercury is over. This is the thief. We're back to the thieves. We're back to Bugsy Malone. Bugsy Malone. I've been talking about this Juan Branco. So in France, we've got Jordan Bardella, JB, and we've got Juan Branco. So this is really, Juan Branco is the little Mercury, the little boy. He looks just like Martin Levy and Bugsy Malone, the baddie, little moustache. And Saturn, this is the back to black. So, you know, Saturn is ruthless. Venus, the jewel, the heart, the true earth passage of the mother, the middle class is going to go. We're going to have the Hitler Youth Rising in France. We have the SNU, which is all the 15 to 17-year-olds. I heard that to get your code, driving license code, you have to go and do a training period with the SNU. Which is, you know, this is Saturn and Mercury energy. So it's either the absolute gangsters, so the two people that are accused of stealing the jewels are from Saint Denis. So Blondie, Denis is Dionysus, and Dionysus is the dark side of Apollon. It's the dark side of the sun and Mercury. So, today, here we go, you see Mars and Mercury. Mars is about to leave Libra as well. Here's Mars, he's still in Libra, and Mercury, and this is all about to come up as we come to Halloween. The sun is still in Virgo today. Sun will move in for Halloween on the 31st. So, for right now, we have got this opposition of Uranus and Mercury just before Mercury's getting ready to go retrograde. He's going retrograde just after the 5th of November, V for Vendetta, remember, and that's going to be the full moon. We're going to have the moon in the V for Vendetta. So everything is about rising the people. Everything is about rising the gangsters. Everything is in that energy. Mainstream astrology will have these great conjunctions of Pluto and of Saturn and Jupiter in the air element. So the last time we had the French Revolution was in the period of Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto in Capricorn was the American Revolution. So I'm just putting a little bit of heat on. I can't put my fan on because it will make so much noise with this micro. You see, I do have really all over. I do have really flashy microphone stuff. And then I'm meant to put that in the computer, but if I put that in the computer, I can't use my mouse. And I'm just too afraid for the moment. I really need, I really need somebody to just come and help me and be with me and just go through the whole process. I'm too afraid to lose sound or have a problem, so I'm just keeping using this microphone, but I know there's a kind of echo of the... So I put on another heater. So what you have to also really get is that Jupiter is in the home of Mercury. So Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. Jupiter, for all these conjunctions that we're going to be having, he is in detriment in Virgo, because he rules Pisces. So in Virgo he's in detriment, and in Capricorn he's in full. So when we had COVID, after the great conjunction and we had COVID, that was the first real energy of what Jupiter is like when he's in full. Saturn was at home, so Saturn had more power, and Jupiter was in full. So we're coming up to the opposition of the great conjunction we had on the winter solstice on the 21st of the 12th, 2020, because Jupiter is going to go retrograde now in Gemini, where he's also in detriment because he rules Sagittarius. So he will be in Cancer, exalted, opposite where he was in full in Capricorn for the great conjunction. And now Pluto is where Saturn and Jupiter met in 2020. So he's coming up to his first halfway opposition to where the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction was in 2020. So Saturn is moving more slowly. Saturn is now in the home of Jupiter with Neptune, who's now the new ruler. They're both retrograde, and we're in this kind of void. We're in this Narnia gap. We're in this void because Saturn and Neptune are where the new spring, the true north, the gap between two ages, ending the age of Pisces, coming to Aquarius. Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces, Saturn is the ruler of Aquarius and of Capricorn, and Saturn is now in the home of Jupiter, and Jupiter is about to become exalted in Cancer. So this is all about home, what's mine, what's yours. This is all about the governments and your own possessions, home, your home. But Venus has been wiped out with Diana. And then, as I said, we had Diana Keaton die. You have to go back and watch my other videos to get into what that means, and Diana and what Keaton means, and we covered that. So this is very drum rolling, as Jupiter is about to do on 11/11, and they're going to have everybody walking against ID. So when they're walking against ID, they're not only rising the monsters of the id, because Neptune is in the abyss with Saturn, so you either fall for the illusion or you become a master of your imagination. Saturn in Neptune. I explained that the monsters of the id, the forbidden planet, came when Neptune was in Virgo. So now Neptune is back in Pisces. In 56, Neptune was in Virgo. So there's clarity, and they were talking about that time when Neptune would be in Pisces, which is what happened, which is what we had for, the discovery of mental illness, Freud in the 18th century. And Nathaniel Cotton, who is a poet who wrote Visions in Verse, and Nathaniel Cotton was an English physician and poet. Cotton is thought to have studied at Leiden University, possibly under Herman Boerhaave. Cotton specialized in the care of patients with mental health issues. And 1707 and he died in 1788. So his poems are beautiful. So look, if solid happiness we prize, within our breast this jewel lies. And you know, it was all about the heart. It was all about earth. He did a beautiful book all about Chloe, and then I called my daughter Chloe his beautiful book for children, Visions in Verse, and I called myself in Paris Vicky Vibes. And when I was a young girl in London, before I got married, I got up on the stage again and created this dance, and I called myself Vicky Valentine. So always that VV, V for victory, Saturn and Jupiter together, apart or together. So he was studying medicine. So he was a doctor. He was a very humble man. And it was his son who began the East Indian Company. But they all knew about this mental. So 1788, let's just see where Neptune was then. Interesting, Neptune was in Virgo, the same. So yeah, he was all about the jewel, the pride, the jewel, the breast. He's born in 1707. So he... 1707, he's born with Neptune in Pisces, of course, this axis. He's born with Neptune in Pisces and he's doing mental health. Okay, back to now. So Benjamin Cotton, go and look up his poems. Verse. He was the same time as Shakespeare. And he really did beautiful. If solid happiness we prize, within our breast this jewel lies, and they are fools who roam, the world has nothing to bestow. From our own selves our joys must flow, and that dear hut our home, the fireside. To be resigned when ills betide, patient when favours are denied, and pleased with favours given. Dear Chloe, this is wisdom part, this is that incense of the heart, whose fragrance smells to heaven. So heart to head, earth to heaven, HH, 88 million jewels were stolen from Le Louvre, and Le Louvre is the cornerstone. It is the Louvre. The Louvre is the she-wolf. The wolf is the flow. It is the fleuve. It is the flow. So he's very humble and very beautiful poetry. So now we have Neptune again in Pisces next to Saturn. And Jupiter that rules Pisces is using the whale's tail to rise the wings of Lucifer. Lucifer is the fleur de lis. It is the bee. It is the beehive. Apollo is the bee holder. The, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. He who holds le bee, le bab, the heart. You have to go through the whore of Babylon. You have to go through the earth. You have to go through Venus in full in Virgo. And that's why the jewels were stolen. Jewels were stolen as, look, the 15th, the moon was in Cancer, and on the 19th, the moon was conjunct to Venus. Those are the jewels. Venus is jewels. And the thief, Mars and Mercury. Mercury was conjunct to Mars in detriment, and Venus in full. They took the crown of the celestial virgin. Okay, let's move on to just look at what's about to happen. So we had the new moon on the 21st. We are now then we had this, this very important passage. This is the high priestess sits between the JB pillars. We had Benjamin, the storm of Benjamin, and then we had on the 28th, yesterday, as Venus approaches again, the heart, the people of Jamaica, Back to Black, Bob Marley, the lion, Zion, the lion, and this is the heart between St. Andrew's Cross. You've got the big lion. And this, so with the moon, the moon has been in D'Artagnan, and D'Artagnan kills the egg. So the storm was rising from the 27th to the 28th, and today, the 29th, the first quarter moon is now entering Capricorn. The moon is therefore conjunct Pluto, opposite Jupiter. This is the moon, the people, the government, the revolution. So whatever is coming on this first quarter, we're going to have now. So then we're going to have on the 5th. Okay, interesting, because Mercury goes retrograde. Mercury does go retrograde on the 9th. So 311. So moon is going to be, for the full moon, is going to be in Aries. Yeah, I did say this in my Patreon rundown of the next 2 weeks. I said this is something to do with Charles. Charles has got moon in Aries, and Charles has got sun in Libra. So yeah, I went into long detail for this. The celestial crown of the cosmic egg stolen. I've put stolen from Le Louvre, the she-wolf. So there we've got the crown. The unicorn, yeah, as Jupiter's on the unicorn. There's in my village. The Mary, she has lost her crown at the same time. The village egg, Enyo, Inanna. My village is called Enyo. That's A-I-G, Nan, Enyo, Egg Nan. So there you have the passage of the 21 tarot cards. Apollo is one of the 12 Olympian gods, born on Mount Cynthus on the island of Delos. So we had the swan. We had the swan comet, and swan is one of. This is Apollo. Apollo is the swan. He is the swan. He's the crow. He's the wolf. New moon on blue star spiker. So you see it's opposite Chiron, and Chiron had just gone back to Pisces. And we have this big air trine in Jupiter, Saturn and Neptune just in Pisces, but retrogrades. Pluto opposite Jupiter all this time, and Pluto had just gone direct, so even more power. That's today, the first quarter moon, and then we've got the full beaver moon in Aries, the finger of God, and those are the three cards I had. So I had this upside down pentacle, and then for today we have got the Prince of Cups, and then Nine of Cups. So yeah, that was very in-depth in Patreon. Please come and join us on Patreon. So let's carry on. So the full moon is definitely on November, V for Vendetta, moon in Aries. We've got the ruler of Aries, Mars. That will then be at home in Scorpio with Mercury. So Mercury not quite retrograde. Mercury's going to go all the way up to Antares before going retrograde. So this is always about rising the eagle. This is, you know, Europe. This is that connection. This is the snake. This is the snake that carries, the eagle that carries the snake of wisdom. Sun is definitely in Libra, moon opposite, and Venus will be on Spica. So remember, in V for Vendetta, you have the girl that rises, Venus on the blue star, Spica, the whore of Babylon. You have girl with her shaved heads. And he falls, he dies at the end, the masked man, and Jupiter getting ready to go retrograde on Procyon. Okay, so then on the 9th, we've got the moon right on Sirius, the moon in the Lord of the Rings, Venus still in Virgo, in full, the ruler of where the sun is, and Mars in Scorpio. So here's Mercury, he is stationary, and then he will begin his journey retrogrades. So that's going to be a big new moon when he's completely blinded. And we're going to have the moon, and that's going to be on the 20th, 11/2. That was the day that Eliza was killed. Amy Winehouse, Eliza Pilarski died 20th of November. Death of November the 16th. On November the 16th, born who was 6 months pregnant with her son Enzo, was killed in a dog attack in the forest of Retz in Aisne, France. November the 16th. So that's the day I got married, and she was killed where I used to live. Okay, so it's November the 16th. So why did I always think see at 20th of November? That's why, because it was in the newspapers. The BBC have that announcement on the 20th November. So it was really to open COVID. It was the girl and the dog. So you've got all over YouTube, you've got girls traveling with their dogs, with their aggressive dogs. 29 years old, the cycle of in Villecotre, VC. So she was killed on the day I got married in Villecotre, where I used to live. VC, coronavirus, VC, that's always the Pisces Virgo axis. By 93 dogs, and 93 is Saint Denis, which I'm going to be showing you where the thieves that stole the jewels come from. It's this area of Paris, which I've spoken a lot about, which is in the same shape as Florida, the floor, the gut of Ida. This is all about corridor, core, the body of Ida, the floor of Ida. Virgo rules the fallopian tubes, the intestines. And this is Amy Winehouse, Cleopatra, back to earth, back to black. But instead of the mother, they're using the girl. So, there's these two forests, and this is where the armistice was signed in Compiègne. I used to live the forest of Compiègne, the forest of Aisne, that's Loise, Hélène. Okay, so she was killed by the hunting dog. So, when my daughter was born, my husband dropped me off in a horse box and he went hunting. I didn't see him again for a few days, but he won. He was given the honors when they kill the stag. I never used to go to the hunts. He was given the honours. He was given the foot of the stag, and that was on the 2nd of November, which is like the 20th of November, in that forest. So let's carry on. We're going to have Mercury going retrograde, and then on 11/11, Jupiter will be going retrograde opposite Pluto. Let's watch Jupiter. So he's very stationary to begin with. So that's very powerful, stationary Jupiter in the home of Mercury as Mercury is going retrograde in Scorpio. So this is the vengeance. This is Notre Dame was risen on the 7th of December the year before, and Mercury, so the year before, Mercury, and then Mercury went retrograde in Scorpio, and they rose Notre Dame. They opened the new on the 7th when Mercury was here. So now this year, this is really the Palestinian girl. This is the veiled girl. This is Esmeralda. This is the whore of Babylon, the Virgo girl, rising the poor people. This is the revolution. This is the attack on the rich. This is the French. This is La Marianne. This is the heart. This is the earth. Bob Marley revolution. This is all the revolution. Jamaica. Obviously, they're going to be making smart cities in Jamaica. So the smart cities. This is the rural girl. This is the earth girl, and she's turned into a sterile Uber, from the country girl to the working girl, and she's sterile, and that's what the film Testa d'Urberville is all about. Okay, so we're going to go not from where I did my last video. We're going to go from the posts from today. So I saw this morning. This actually happened. It was in the newspapers this morning, or it was thrown up to me this morning. But it actually happened on the shooting, the day that Kirk guy got shot in September, the 15th of September, this story came up. So the 15th of September, wasn't that the day that Charlie Kirk shot? What day was that? When did that happen? Man accused of killing Charlie. So what's this? Can avoid wearing green in court, must be accept all. Tyler Robinson. Okay, it was the 10th of September, right. It was the 10th of September. So, 10th, Mars was on Spica, so we're about to have Venus on Spica. And then the 15th, Mars is still on Spica, and Mercury and the Sun are conjunct. So, Marianne Cotillard, who played Edith Piaf, the bird, and we've got Léa Salamé, the dirty girl. Instead of Dirty Diana, we've got, this is Salome. She's rising her little Jupiter finger, and it says here they had a big argument because she accuses her of being rich, and it's all this French. She's saying, give me 250 euros and I will be able to make $1 million in 3 to 4 months. So it's all about this ability to manifest. It's about bringing up the material girl, the money. So these two sides of the Virgo girl, the poor Cinderella, or the Cinderella who hits big. And basically, let's just read a bit what I put. MC, so Marianne Cotillard is MC, Salome, she decapitates John the Baptist. JB again. Benjamin, the blowjob. The Boaz jacking pillars on each side. Scorpio should take the new MC from Sagittarius, but Sagittarius kills. So, you know, Scorpio, I'm going to put all these that I've written into Patreon. So I'm going to upload this video for YouTube, but I will also upload it to Patreon, and I will add all these posts so you can go and read it there. So then I just give all the meanings of Leah. So Leah is the matriarch in the Genesis story. She's the older sister of Rachel. So, and the first wife of Jacob. So Rachel is barren, sterile, and so you've got the two girls, and Virgo is going to be sterile now. Marion is a gender neutral French name. Star of the Sea. So it's Mary, it's Marion, it's the celestial virgins on the top. Okay, next. So then we have Melissa is the honeybee, le bee, le bab, Cancer on front page newspaper today. So Cancer is the constellation of the Elizabeth line. So the Eliza Macbeth line, and it is also the beehive cluster. So the moon was in Sagittarius, and that's D'Artagnan, who kills again Scorpio. You know, Charlie means the truth. It means victory. No, that's Nicolas means victory. Charlie is the truth. And the Charlie was killed, the truth. Where is Charlie? Where is the truth? So Pink Panther, the stealing of the jewels, it's the Pink Panther. Peter sells her. I'll be showing you. So it's October, Pink Rose, the jewels stolen by two thieves. Each side of the crown. Jesus, the heart, earth passage, rose pink is the Virgin Mary. The moon key, you've got Peter Sellers in the Pink Panther with the moon key, with the monkey. Jesus, heart, earth, passage, rose pink in the Virgin Mary. In Sagittarius, the archer that kills the bee, the breast of Venus. The eye is the bee in the bonnet, breast of Cancer is the beehive cluster. Whore of Babylon. Okay, so I'm going off on one there, but it's the sun, it's the breast of Venus. It's always when they show you these, they're showing you. So we've got the Kingston, the stone of the king. This is the king's chamber in the pyramid. In your skull, the Mandela, we've got Mandeville, the Mandela is the passage through onto the fixed cross. The Mandela is the four elements with the passage through, which is the bullseye, the breast. And so they show you this blue, the blue, that spiker of earth. It's the heart, it's Betty Blue. So front page of the newspaper yesterday, Cancer is rising. It keeps rising. There will be no need of the sun and the moon. We have got Jupiter that will enter Cancer next year opposite Pluto and Capricorn. Can you become your own authority, or always under the energy of Capricorn, the government? So October is pink. It's the breast Cancer. October is oct. It's the 8. It's the octopus. It's the 8th house. Scorpio. Death. Kali. Melissa is a Greek word meaning bee, which was taken from the word meli, meaning honey. Ackee, the planet of the apps, abs. Abby Pierre, the book written in my village, is Abby Pierre. Midnight Express, it's always that axis between Capricorn and Cancer. The Nile, the Jordan Bardella, the Nile. The eye in the sky. eye of the beholder. So the moon was in Sagittarius. Heart is leb, lebab, means heart, the mind of the inner man, from the heart to the head. HH, 88 constellations. Can you make the earth-air connection to get your crown from Saturn? So from Mercury, Venus, Mercury to Saturn in that tree of life. It's Mercury and Venus. That's the rulers of Taurus and Gemini on each side of the Milky Way. Heart, leb, lebab. Lebab means two hearts binding. So Mercury is the lovers in Gemini, the lovers, the two, the celestial virgin. First, the lovers have to come together. 51. That's why in the case of Giselle, 51 men were arrested. I've covered that. Again, Lebab means mind or heart and is the seat of thought and will, appearing in Armaniac sections of Daniel. The Hebrew heart, the heart. Leb, lebab, leba, the flame, the heart. Throughout history, the heart has always been regarded as an important part of the human body. According to the Greek philosopher Aristotle, the heart was a three-chambered organ that was the center of vitality in the body, being the seat of intelligence, motion, and sensation. So this is lebab, lebi, and Melissa is called the honeybee. The storm in Jam, AI, Jamaica. And we'll get to Jamaica this in a minute. So look, Leb, Lebab, this is my surname. VC, okay, so this is the 21 passage to get her. That's why, so we're going through the O, the operator, the emotion, the heart of the three crosses. And you've always got those three passages of the Kabbalah tree of life. You've got Lilith at the bottom, you've got Sophia at the heart, and Eve, the celestial, at the top. So you've got to get through the Vesica Pisces, through there she is. This is the triangle. She's the celestial virgin at the top. Onto the fixed cross. You either go through Pisces or Virgo. Marianne, 13. What is 13? It is the bee. It's your 13th canio between the 12 disciples. The heart is the Ab, and this is why Abbé Pierre, the book that I show you every time, is the stein, is the stone, the pale stein, the Amygdala. Abbé Pierre, William J. Hudson, that I show you every time because it's a book written in my village. J is Scorpio. It is Scorpio. So, Abbé Pierre, J. William, New York, London, 1927. It's just a story in my little village. And then you've got Abbé Pierre, who fell 100 years after exactly the priest, because Abbé means the priest, but it's Abbé, it's the bee. A-B, Abbé, Appy, Apollon, the Pierre, the philosopher's stone. So the heart. Hallo Bab, Biarritz, Onglet, Bayonne. And there you've got, so we had the big storm, the Babylon, the heart. 22 is BB. BB, there is B, A, B, Bab. It's the two sides of the torso field. There is the four columns and the heart, the eye, the passage through. We're going through the earth passage. Bee Gees. Cancer is the beehive cluster. It's the top of St. Paul's Cathedral, the breast of Venus. And they show you the rugby men, they always show you they're holding the breast, they're holding the passage. Breast of Venus, the rose. So we've got all the New Age dawn. The rose is pink, pink October. Sun is in Virgo in October. 5-pointed star, we're back to the new order. I'm going to go and listen to this is the Qatar, the time of the Qatars, the rose. This is the name of the rose. It's Earth. So our hearts are broken. Remember, Virgo, what is Virgo? When you look at hearts, astrology, this famous image, little Virgo, she has a broken heart. She has a broken heart. You have to break your heart. You cannot awaken spiritually unless your heart breaks and you find compassion through a broken heart. No illumination comes without your ego and your heart being crushed. And then you can have a true connection to heart to head. So Ackee culture, Ackee, it's the Ackee, the beehive, the beekeeper, the fleur de lis. The fleur de lis is Lucifer, the Louvre is the she-wolf, Pink October, and of course Virginia Woolf, the flow, le Louvre. And there is the same woman in Tess d'Urberville in ChatGPT, Paris, Texas, with these pale new colors of this going through the Virgin, going through her, going through the heart. Cross your heart. Remember those bras were at the passage through. This man that apparently found Nicolas Bully, the bullseye. We had the Gabrielle Storms. He's wearing the Ackee of Ackee, the uterus, the womb. Miss Piggy, breast cancer, and there is Peter Sellers and the jewels that were just stolen from the Louvre. The pink Eiffel Tower on the Seine, and the burglars came from Saint Denis. Denis, and Denis is Dionysus. There you see the Whore of Babylon, the opening, the passage through that axis that we are on now. So there's the Lion of Zion, Bob Marley, St. Andrew, who's officially fallen, and the passage through. The lion wails, there is Melissa, it means bee. The Lebay, the Labab, it's the heart. So yeah, the bees, honeybees desert after exposure to 5G cell towers, yes. At least 7 dead, of course. 7 is the ELLE, it is the aigle, the aigle, the egg, the ELLE. And look, that it looks like a uterus. It's the uterus. Okay. So we've just had in Paris, we've had the same time as this storm, we've had people being taken to court for accusing, you've got the Candace Owen in America and all these people distracting you with bullshit. So, this is rising Capricorn. We've got Jupiter opposite Capricorn. So Jupiter, he wants to join himself with Capricorn, Sagittarius with Capricorn. We've got this first quarter moon right now, conjunct to Pluto in Capricorn, Jupiter opposite that rules Sagittarius. So after Storm Benjamin, Boaz jacking pillars through the Lebab, Lebay heart passage, 21777, we have Juan Branco at the JBBJ pillars and B2 M13. So Brigitte Macron, 13 is 4, and 24 is 6. So, what am I doing with the 2-4? I can't remember. So Tiferet is the Heart Passage, the Black Madonna, the BM, Brigitte Macron, Bob Marley, Bugsy Malone, BFM, Melissa is the B, Mary Magdalene Passage. Okay, I'll add all that text. So we had her when he went and met, Charles went to meet the Pope and to pray with him. We'll get to that. And she was looking like a witch, all in black. This is because the moon key is through the deadly mother, sun and the moon opposite to Capricorn. Got to get through the Louvre, the wolves, and you can make it to the other side, Capricorn. So she's playing the role of Capricorn. And there is Juan Branco, who is, you know, very feminine, and it's all about the one, going from the twins to the one. There's Martin Levy in Bugsy Malone. So they're saying that he can't go to protect one of the people accused, and I've always said that he's going to rise as the president. So there I'm just showing the Boaz and Jacqueline pillars. One Love, the lion, Bob Marley, Brigitte Macron, and the lion on the mutable cross to get through. The unicorn and the lion. Pope Leo is given a white horse. This is pagan, English, British, the lion, Christianity, and we're going through the earth. The lion in the middle of this gap, Narnia. The black lion rises because Mercury and Saturn, there will be no more need of, there will be no need of the sun and the moon. So here she is. She's got her crown. They've taken her crown. The BJ had the Benjamin, blowjob, Storm, Joaz Bakim, and then we've just had Melissa, the B, the heart, her, the passage through. So AI, Jamaica, AI, through the pillars. So male, female, and the Makaba. It's the torso field. It's always the eye of the storm. Who can stay cool? And so Juan Branco wrote this book, Crepuscule, which was all anti-Macron, and he will become the new image of this Mercury-Saturn energy. We've got Jordan Bardella and Juan Branco. Remember, in Bugsy Malone, they're all children. This is Mercury. And what happens at the end? You could have been anything that you wanted to be. I love that they all fight, and then at the end. So I think that, you know, this is the energy, and we'll already have a beginning of that energy in 20 years when Pluto goes into Aquarius. So the Torah, the torso field, going through her, and this is BFM TV. Okay. So there again, So in Your Face, B2, M13, Bob Marley, Bridget, Back to Black, Amygdala, King's Chamber, Kingston, Black Lion Passage, Through the Mutable Cross, Melissa is the Honey Appy Labab Heart Passage. So, tracking Melissa, the King's Chamber, it's in your skull, the King, this is Kingston, the Queen, all the amygdala, the pineal gland, and this is what they've taken down in my village. They've taken the stone out, they brought down that building, and they've taken away the stone. So he, since I last spoke to you, has given up his duties. There is Andrew Cross, 36, Paris, Texas, and also Jean Branco, he's 36, of course, 36. So 369, I'll be showing you. Daniel Craig, Magician's Nephew. This is My Village, is the Cosmic Egg, and we have those lakes between worlds, the worlds between worlds. There's your Lion in Zion. We're going through Bob Marley. The lion and the unicorn were fighting for the crown. The lion beat the unicorn all round about the town. Some gave them white bread, some gave them brown, some gave them plum cake and sent them out of town. So the crown is gone just after Prince Charles, King Charles and Leo the lion met to pray. They met to pray. There is the mutable cross. You got to get past the monkey. There's the moon key to get onto the fixed cross. So it's right there. And what is that moon key? It is your brainstem. It's your brainstem. So, you know, I've been talking about all this happening. Breaking news, the unicorn, the Union Jack. You merge the three and you get the Union Jack and you get the one gender. There is the passage through the girl and the unicorn. This is at Bayeux in Caen. Jupiter, Can. This is World War II in Bayeux. 33, your spine. And there is the ladder of the thieves taking you, taking on top of the crown. Le Louvre, this is your capstone. And there is the Celestial Virgin, Le Louvre, with the lovers join Mercury at the heart to crown the Celestial Virgin. She is the Louvre, she is the she-wolf. And there is the King's Chamber, Kingston in Jamaica. The Philosopher's Stone. Arthur and Merlin, the Keystone, and Regulus, the whore of Babylon, lies at the feet of Jesus. And you get that's the king when he was crowned, the stone was under his chair. And there is the whore of Babylon in the passage of the heart. And you will see that that is Jamaica, 77. And there is in ascending the honeybee, the girl, Jupiter ascending, the fleur de lis, the heart, 42, 42, 42, the pyramid, that is Jupiter, Liber, 77, so 2 7s, 7 7 make a triangle, which gives you 777, 21, World Tarot passage. So the Holy Grail is the giving, life-giving womb of a mother. And there is your 3 7s, 3773, ELLE. ELLE backwards is the capstone, and we've had the jewels taken at the Louvre. So, the 2 thieves are the 2 eyes. 3773, the passage through. Here we're coming through the passage onto the fixed cross, through from the mutable onto the fix. And this is the last passage. You have Goldilocks and Silverlocks, the old lady through the passage, Iron Zion. And the Amygdala is Mary Magdalene. You are the portal. There again, you've got the Star of David, right brain, left brain, through the pillars, 2 little dicky birds, Pete and Paul, and Jack. King's Chamber, right in the middle. What we'd have at Kingston, we've got Lebab, the heart, the whore of Babylon, who's just blown on Jamaica. The beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. And the revelation is 17, that's 1 and 7, 71. Revelation 17. And the stairs to steal the crown, all for one, one for all, through the tent to get to the trine. And this is the true closing of the cross. Should have the mutable in the middle, and then the Saturn and Saturn with Capricorn and Aquarius opposite the Sun and the Moon, and Venus and Mars, Taurus and Aries, Scorpio and Libra. What do we have right now? Mercury retrograding between Scorpio and Libra to rise the eagle. Only by the mutable cross can the recycling reincarnational symbol be drawn. It's the X factor of the eights. And now we have the one world train tent, the world tarot card. No longer the twins, we become the one unicorn. The one, the whore of A Babylon. It's the torso field becomes one. From 2 to 1. There she is. Right. So there are the two thieves that went up the spine ladder to steal the crown. 88,000,033 jewels. That's 3333. Through the 201 tarot BJ pillars and 7613 Labab heart. All you got left are the twins. I. No crown. No Christ consciousness. I, Captain. And what did they show you at the Louvre? They showed you. So that's all. That's the King's Chamber. It's the King's Stone. So you can read that. You can stop and read that. Negative and positive, two pillars, good and bad, thieves. The world virgin is sometimes shown standing between the two great pillars, the Jachin and Boaz of Freemasonry, symbolizing the fact that nature attains productivity by means of polarity. As wisdom personified, Isis stands between the pillars of opposites, demonstrating that understanding is always found at the point of equilibrium, and that truth is often crucified between the two thieves of apparent contradiction. Perfect. Right. So let's whizzy. So I didn't make that video. I wasn't able to, but there you see, I'm doing it now. The ladder, heaven, earth, hell, Eve, Sophia, Lilith. So that is your ladder. Which ladder are you rising up? There is the ladder. 5 elements, the ladder. Oh, there you have the 3. It's Honey wanting me to play. No, Honey, Mummy's working. So again, the Star of David, the 3, and you've got the 3 levels, the N, Enyon, Inanna, the N, the G, Giselle. This is the most beautiful explanation of that ladder and the thieves at the Louvre. 32 is earth, the heart. This is where I live. 2 sides of the aigle. My village is aigle. There it is. Honey, maman travaille. Pole of the ecliptic. Pete and Paul. The 2 angles were coming back onto the upright fixed cross. And again, in the pyramids, this is the King's Stone. King's Chamber, and there we have 7 churches, 7 people killed in the celestial pole, the base of the spine. And there is the heart passage, the Star of David in the middle. We're going through that heart to head, the Ackee at the top, the skull Gulatha, North Celestial Pole. Big Ben. We had Benjamin, Big Ben, the storm, and there is your celestial goddess at the top, the Virgin Sophia, through the heart. BB, Bab, Le Louvre. the jewels. Those are the jewels that they showed us. The Marie Louise necklace and a pair of earrings were among the 8 items stolen. The 8 items. It's Venus's cycle every 8 years. That's why they kill 8 bulls in my village on Easter Day. So this is Nikola Tesla, the 369 is the triangle, and before Le Louvre, Philosopher's Stone, and there she is, right. We are all called to resurrect to Christ consciousness. The 2 crooks on either side and the crown, the third eye, has been taken. The brainstem, God, and the dome. And that is what they show you. Right there. Okay. Oh. So they're about to do a big free webinar. Tony Robinson. Wasn't that the name of the man that Kirk Robinson or whatever he was called? Charlie Kirk. The man accused is called Tyler Robinson. And here we've got... So that they're doing on the 6th, 7th, 8th of November as Mercury goes retrograde the 9th. And, you know, they're really, really charging in AI now. And anybody that can't keep up is just going to lose all their work. So, you know, all of us are suffering. I'm going to be doing, you must join my, newsletter, subscribe to my site, because I'm going to be doing an offer for November, December. But you know, this is if you're not up on the AI and Chat GPT, so they are going to show you how to stay. Maybe it will be quite interesting, but honestly, it's so Mercury taking over. There's a new thing called school on internet. You know, Mercury is scholarly, and Saturn, you got to get through the higher chakras with Saturn, with discipline, with work. And these guys are all trained to get you into it. So Dionysus, that's my old Bacchus, it's my blog that you can find on my site. It's all about that happening at the moment. So we are in the age of Earth Heart. So dinosaurs and Dionysus are back to black. Wine, fruit, and sex. There never were dinosaurs, just base animalistic, reptilian, brain planet of the apples, Ackee were going through. So like other bull deities, Ackee was probably at first a fertility god concerned with the propagation of grain and herds, but he became associated with Ptah, the paramount deity of Memphite area, and also with Osiris as user happy and Socorus, gods of the dead and the underworld. So Seine Saint-Denis, this is where the thieves were from, which is 93. So she was killed by 93 dogs. I showed you before. So what does Seine Saint-Denis mean? It means followers of Dionysus. So Dionysus is the dark side of Apollo. And this is, we've got this film coming out on dinosaurs now in Paris. There he is. This is why I've been talking for years about the earthly pleasures, and this is why he's the gardener. We're going through Earth, Dionysus, Paradise Lost, John Milton. This is Dionysus, and that's why we had at the Olympics, we had the blue man. The blue man, why? Because blue star Spica is through her. The pleasures of the earth, the pleasures of the whore of Babylon, the planet of the apes. That's what he was announcing. His attempted assassination was when moon was on Spica. It's always when it's on the blue star. William showing you the brain stem. He's having sex with monkeys, the moon key. Ackee, the planet of the apes. This is all Dante's, and in France, Les Visiteurs, that scary film, The Cherry Orchard. This is the Middle Ages. We're back to the Middle Ages. We're going to have the elite and the poor. and no more middle class and everybody doing musculation and getting in. So the egg is found. The dinosaurs, the area where I live is going to be very Mad Max. You know, this is, you've got to get past Rumpelstiltskin, your brainstem, the hacker. The indigenous people were back to earth. You've got to get back to the basics. So, you know, we're going to have the days of dark. We will have, you see, there's no more Mars for the next 500 years. There's no more Jupiter. There's no more sun. There's no more moon. There's just the cherry on the ice cream, Saturn and Mercury, Virgo and Saturn in Capricorn, and we've got the Big Willy, you know, the Virgin and Dionysus, Osiris. Yeah, this is what the whole fertility festival was all about. And there again, Ackee, god of the Nile, fertility. That's what the fertility festival, Romulus and Remus, Paradise Lost, and Dante's and look, that's coming out the 6th of November, Paradise Lost. Back to the Future, 88 miles an hour. That's where we are, the heart to the head, the Wicker Man. So she had abdominal cancer, of course, the abs, Rosemary's Baby. You know, this is the new birth, this is the new children. Planet of the Apes, the fourth monkey, the fourth moon key, the happy prince, the three brains, mini-me. And there is the guy from the Olympics. He's in the food, Dionysus, with Celestial Virgin, and he's lying like Aquarius, Saturn should, but they're using Virgo and Mercury and Jupiter, and they're showing you the pillars. She's got her arm. It's really, really, this is, we're going through the earth. The pleasures of the earth. So here I'm going on about 2 suspects have been arrested over the theft of precious crown jewels from Paris's Louvre. The men are in their 30s, originally from the capital Saint-Denis. So I always told you, I will put all that into. So the twins, the two, merge for the Celestial Crown. Pink Panther, Denis, remember Dennis the Menace. And remember, I've been showing you this for years, the Pink Panther in Paris, and showing you America, which is Saint-Denis 93. So I had all the pictures ready. There's the floor of Ida, Floridor, the passage, the moon key, the blind man, the 3 monkeys. Now we've got the 4th monkey. Denis of Paris beheaded, just like John the Baptist is killed by Salome. Denis of Paris is Dionysus, the dinosaur. John the Baptist, and there is 93, the same shape as Florida, as you know, as America. It's the baleine, the ball of the hate. Kenneth Anger, Lucifer Rising. So there you've got La Haine, and he's showing you Florida. He's showing you the palm trees. 21 to get her, Jupiter and Mars to get her, 21. And there you've got Joey Starr, Beatrice Dalle, BJ, and he was famous like Michael Jackson for keeping a monkey. And he is famous for his music, Nique ta mère, Fuck Your Mother, which is, you know, the end of, this is Jupiter and Venus Venus in Virgo, and Diana, the mother, is killed. So it's just this merging of the black and the earth. Salome kills Jean the Baptist, Scorpio, therefore her own fertility. Florida has got the trigger to the gun. That's why he shows you the gun. Just like 93 area in Paris is also showing you, it's the trigger. It's also your brainstem. Mojo rising joint there. They've got, it's the baleine, it's the whale. It's 1811 New Madrid quake. La N showing you the three religions will become one. La N. Enyon, my village is called N. N means hate. N is the North Polaris. It's the N of the Aleph Tav. That film came out, I used to talk about it all the time, but you've got the Christian, the Muslim, and the Jew, the gut, the voice, the trigger, and there is the cross that you see in the film with Peter Sellers. I've been talking about this for years, and then obviously the thieves come from Saint Denis. There is Australia, the New World, the reproduction organs. Virgo is the fallopian tubes. The doors, LA, Tesla is the Testa d'Urberville, the LA Mojo rising, Gloria, Jim Morrison. So Denis. And there is Nick Tamer, NTM, the four corners and the passage through. They kill the mother. There's the triangle. The Dirty Seine, La Marianne. Solomon has become Salome. Salome, and 32 is my region. So Mercury on the Tree of Life, there's Earth is the heart, Tiferet, and you've got Mercury and Venus on each side, and you either go below, you've got to go down to the bottom to rise up again. You have to go through Earth, you have to go through the putrefaction, and that is what the death of Apollo and the rising of Helios. You have to go to hell to come back up to Apollo. So through the twins, the lovers, Pollux and Castor, the coriander, Victor and Corona, VC, Corona, the rhythm of the night, triple goddesses, the next 250 years, and there you've got, this is the 93 area, all that in Paris. Dennis the Menace, the Pink Panther is pink, Cancer, and I think she's bringing out a new album, Pink, too. Okay, so before I knew about that, I was waxing crescent moon in Sagittarius. This was on the 26th, we're now the 29th, and I'll add that Col d'Ida, corridor, the corridor. Okay, so I'm talking, you can see it's beautiful. Look, somebody's saying Polish woman, news for you. Polish woman who claimed to me Madeleine McCann fears for her safety. Well, what did I just show you? Madeleine is the Mary Magdalene, McCann fears for, so she is, and I showed you Pilarsky, Eliza Pilarsky, and Polensky, the Pole, and a Polish man gave the white horse to the Pope. Okay, let's get to the end of this. Pics are all here. Oh yeah, this is all about the Saturn and Jupiter conjunctions. So the Middle Ages is just when Saturn, Mercury, Venus rule as the rule. So we end 500 years of Jupiter, Sun and Mars, fire and moon, Mars, Jupiter, water. What happened between 11 and 1300? The Catholic Crusades occurred between the 11th and the 13th centuries. They were conducted under papal authority, initially with the intent of re-establishing Christian rule in the Holy Land by taking the area from the Muslim Fatimids. So, I say, so the conjunction move from fire to earth was in 1067 until 1305, when they met in air, as we now move into earth from 1981 to 2219. So in 2219, the conjunction will be in Libra, just like in 1305. And in 1981, we had the conjunction in Virgo, just like in 1067, and this is all the Battle of Hastings, and there I just have loads of pictures of me working it all out. So that's when Saturn and Jupiter will end this Earth period in 2219, just as in 1305, exactly the same. They met. They will meet in 2219 exactly as they met. So in 1961 we had the last in fire, and then in 2219 they meet there in 1305. Okay, so you know that is a lot of higgledy-piggledy pictures. And then I'm talking about this Mary to Queen of Scots, Elizabeth line. I'll put all that in, all my thinking. Great videos coming from Dane Saturn, his YouTube channel, Saturn Rooster 81. That was the video I did for Patreon, so very symbolic. Now we've got the veiled Mary Magdalene walking on water, no longer Jesus, but the girl, Virgo. So there we've got Charles on the 24th of October meeting the Pope, so officially giving us the Leo and the Lion, Air, Charles de Gaulle. This is the Christ passage, the French horn, showing the Green Man. And this is the news. So there he is with all the feminine, spider, cat, frog. He's that white energy. And although the prince, so they talking about war in South America, they've got all, and that's where they've got this Charles as the savior of the world, and the one one monarchy. You know, there is a possibility of something going on between France getting a monarchy back, England losing the monarchy. The lion lies down with the lamb. There we've got the crown, we've got the chair in the middle. It would be interesting to know who they are. It looks like Pete and Paul, and the lion and the unicorn. It's so in your face. Oh, great. They didn't take me. So anything interesting I say? We're back to the Black Prince, BP, blah, blah. Okay, so that was me getting really excited about the jewels, and I make a video and I speak about it. So I'm going on and on and on about the heart. This is the 23rd of October. So the 23rd of October, we had the storm Benjamin. And I'm going on and on about it being the heart, the Lebab, and then we've got the storm Lebi. So the 23rd of October, when they had the storm Benjamin, it is the day of the miraculous. This is Notre Dame of miracles, where you have to wipe your slate clean. You have to get rid of all your sin and wipe your slate clean. So on that very day, I get my corridor done, the core of Ida that I've been waiting to do for years, and they've come to shut the corridor, and that was on the day of the Benjamin storm. and the Heart Passage, the corridor, October Rose, and all this is, so the Benjamin Storm, through the heart, through the core, the body of Ida. You've got to get through the corridor to get to your heart to heads, from Amygdala, through the Amygdala to the King's Chamber, from the Queen's Chamber to the King's Chamber in the pyramid. There's the Amygdala. And, you know, these things that happen. So the builders have been waiting for 2 years. And on that day of the core of Ida, they do my corridor. Incredible. 37, the Babylon. This is that halfway between Jupiter and Saturn. The Jupiter and Saturn is, you know, not completely open to Jupiter, not completely shut to Saturn. This is when you can find your way through the corridor. You have to meet the whore of Babylon. You have to activate your sexual transmutation. And then so that's the last thing I've got to show you. So the jewels is, oh great, I didn't have to lose. So the Louvre, this is when I find out on the front page of the newspapers on the 23rd of October, they show you again Le Louvre. That's going to be all the same pictures at the age of 37. Okay, but I have to show you the Nikola Tesla. Great. They didn't. So there we've got the storm on the Bab, on the Virgin Mary. So the name Benjamin comes from the Hebrew Benjamin, which means son of the man Dwight, of the right hand. A geographical reference in antiquity. The son of the right hand. So Jesus's right hand is on Taurus, which is the heart. Okay, so here I was getting really excited about the Heart Passage, the BJ, the dramatized Babala on. As I told you, Sarko, Nico, Tess, the Black Moon was on Tess d'Urberville. So the Black Moon, I'm getting all excited and I'm showing you. So Le Ben is the heart, the passage. Look at me getting all excited here. And then, of course, the wheels within wheels, the Ben, Virgin, the two. So they're going to be the same pictures. And that, remember the last video I did, I'm explaining Delph, and then all this is happening, going through the heart, the B, the beauty, Tiferet. So we're coming to the heart. This is everything that has just happened. Bill and Ben, the Bab, le Bab, the heart, the B, beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, beauty. And that is what this Melissa is about. So Benjamin, I got all excited, BJ blowjob, and then that's the name, you know, that's exactly what has happened. So we're nearly there. So they're getting all ready for that storm, tempest. And then, yeah, I found out about my great grandma, this poem. A poem was written by Lord Tennyson about the May Queen poem. You must wake and call me early, mother dear. Tomorrow I'll be the happiest time of all. So it was written for Mary Ryan. And I found this The girl who is to be crowned the May Queen tells her mother the night before, I sleep so sound all night, mother, that I shall never wake. If you do not call me loud when the day begins to break. The next part of the poem, entitled New Year's Eve, and its conclusion, added later, confirm that although she is indeed crowned on the following day, it is the last May Day in which she ever participates. So, you know, something happens, the heart goes, and this is, I'm living now where the 5-pointed star is in the, so I tell you all this in case something happens to me. So Tony Robinson, he keeps saying, I'm mad. So of all the glad new year, mother, the maddest, merriest day, for I'm to be the queen, oh the May, mother, I'm to be the queen, oh the May. There's many a black, black eye, they say, but none so bright as mine. There's Margaret and Mary, there's Kate and Caroline, but none so fair as little Alice in all the land, they say. So all my childhood, everyone always said you look just like Alice in Wonderland. There was a series called The Children of the Railway, and all my childhood, everyone said, you look like the steam engine, the girl in that, I sleep so sound all night, mother, that I shall never wake. If you do not call me loud when the day begins to break, but I must gather knots of flowers and buds and garlands gay, for I'm to be the queen, oh the May, mother, I'm to be the queen of the May. So that is interesting because there she is. I always show you 1866, my great grandma, taken survivor of the Irish potato famine, sold to Juliet Cameron. So you can read that, you know that, I always show it to you. And let's get, so bingo, the 111 protest, you gotta kidding me, is Armistice Day, and look, they're showing you the bee. The bee, the honey bee, is the eye of the beholder. And he does a brilliant post. We do not consent. Look, you can read that. He's explaining how stupid it is to do these walks. So here I am explaining V for Vendetta. The film came out in 2005. We're now 2025. So that's the 7-7. It's playing out. Jack, Jupiter falls and Rose Venus survives. Just like in the Titanic. Jupiter ascending and the beekeeper rises. Sarko in prison on a black moon for 5 years. Cycle of Venus as Venus is in Virgo and new black moon. So on the 21st of October is the day that Sarkozy is put into prison. Natalie Portman who also plays in The Black Swan, as today, Black Comet Swan, conjunct Black Moon, obviously Black Friday, Vendredi, Venus rises. So here we go. I do a little video about this because it's so enormous. Victory to the people. Nicola means victory to the people. So this happened on the new moon. Leo given a horse called Proton, Nico Sarko. So Nikola Tesla is 369. The proton, the neutron, and the electron make the nucleus. 369, the goose drank wine. The monkey, the moonkey chewed tobacco on the streetcar line. The line broke, the moonkey got choked, and they all went to heaven in a little rowboat. So Revelation 4:6-8, and before the throne was something like a sea of glass, as clear as crystal in the center. So this is wheels within wheels of Ezekiel. Around the throne were 4 living creatures. That's the 4 fixed cross and the jewel in the middle. Okay, I just had to have a quick pit stop. Victory, so Nicola means victory of the people. Greek in origin, Nicola is a variant of Nicola and means victory to the people. Both names are derived from the Greek element Nike. So Nike is victorious. She is the decapitated woman at the Louvre, which translates to victory, perhaps representing the Greek goddess Nike, who embodies victory in many fields. So I'm making all this connection. The 3, there's Tesla, the decapitation, that is the film with Jodie Foster. She's the cherry. Apollo, 2 sides, and Rahu, Philosopher's Stone. unicorn and the lion, the rose, there's Ezekiel, but the wheel, the eye, there's the beauty between the fixed cross, horses of the apocalypse, and that is the fixed cross, this passage that we're going on to. So on the 21st of October, we have the news that he's put into prison, and what is on the front page of the newspaper? The proton, the electron, and the neutron. And Nikola Sarkozy, Nikola Tesla, on that new moon, on the 21st. The new moon is on Spica, the blue star, the heart. She is the passage through onto to get her, and this time he goes, instead of Perseverone going but falling into winter, going into the underworld, Nicola goes into the underworld. He kisses his girl goodbye. Look at all this drama. And there's the proton, the neutron, the electrons, the wheels within wheels. We're going through the heart. There's the Prince of Wheels, the Prince of Wales. There's Proton as Jupiter is on. As Jupiter is on Procyon. (369) Nikola Tesla. It's the Louvre. It's the pyramids. Neutron, the proton, makes the atom. So, there could be a big bang coming up. Key to the universe, the bee. And look, there's the bee. What is the name of the Melissa storm? The bee. So I'm always telling you in my abstract way, but it's a lot of energy, and that's why I do all this. But what I really want to be doing is doing readings, because I do this decoding for you. So, I would much rather be putting all my energy into doing my readings. But I show you what I can do, how I decode, because basically it is your ability to see. So there he is, Elon Musketeer, Tesla, Sword in the Stone, wings, a 77, 77, Jupiter in Gemini, cars, and we've got Neptune and Saturn on the whale's tail. That is the top of the whale's tail. The diving whale is the cycle of Venus. Okay, great. Okay, we're nearly there. So I just put that up, new moon on blue star Spica, and then I saw that painting I just saw yesterday, Klein Blue, sold. So I had no idea. Rare 14-foot Eve painting sells for 21.4, of course, 21 million. This is the blue star. This is the girl, the 21 passage. And that happened 6 days ago. I couldn't have known that then. 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was 7 days ago I put that. And then I didn't know the day after it is sold. So that's me showing the storm, and then that new moon, I'm getting all excited again, Betty Blue, and Joey Star that comes from Saint Denis, and then the thieves come from Saint Denis. So that robbery was going on when I was doing my last video. We're not going to go through all the pictures right now. Black Swan, Comet, Black Moon, Celestian Crown of the Cosmic Egg, stolen from the Louvre, She-Wolf, the Black Swan, the Chariot of Swan, Comet tomorrow. So I'm doing all these little videos, getting really excited. Oops. Oop, I hope that doesn't come up. So the Black Swan of Paris, there she is. Oh yeah, Annie Haller, Annie Hall. And that's it. I think I can round up. So this famous song, Barbara, I think I showed you the black eagle, the blue, the red. I showed it to you in my last video, I'm pretty sure. So that all happened after Le Louvre, the egg. So the Virgin in our village, the egg, Nana, has been painted for the second new black moon in Virgo tomorrow, but Corona has lost her crown. Venus in fall in Virgo, Venus rules Libra, where Mercury that rules Gemini, and Virgo is blah blah. So that was the day after the last video, and the crown went the ELLE, and in our village, Ishtar, Enyon, and the crown has gone from our Virgin. It's my village, the 5-pointed star. There it is. She's now got her crown back. They just put it back. And I told you that in our village, it's the cosmic egg, and that's where they have the hatchery. And the hatchery they've now opened on the 7/7. So Jamaica longitude, latitude is 7/7, 1877. So on the 7/7 of July of this year, they brought in a robot to kill all the female eggs, just like in Brave New World. And that's what D'Artagnan does. He kills the egg. The cosmic egg is the 101 passage. The bee, I'm showing you the bee, the egg is the egg of Ishtar. And now in Jamaica, it's funny because I've been looking at videos about Jamaica. I just had a thinking I would love to go to Jamaica, but then I thought, no, because they have too many storms. And, you know, I was kind of thinking I wanted to go and live in Jamaica. And, but I've just been thinking about it this past couple of weeks. And so the labyrinth, my village has the labyrinth, ELLE. Then I was looking at Jamaica, and then, but of course they're going to have all the smart cities. You know, Jamaica is really, so the two sides of the swastika, in the middle you get the cosmic egg, wheels within wheels. We're at that, the neutron, the electron, the proton, and we get the nucleus, the N, the Enyon. And there is the cosmic egg at the top of your heads. And this is the passage we're going through. The North Polaris, Ackee, the bull god, the Ackee, Osiris, Ackee, Apollon, the apple, and there we go. So, 2 hours, I'm sorry, but I do have to get all that information to you. Darlings, thank you for your patience. I hope that this has been of some interest to you. Please subscribe, because my newsletter is going to come out. I will add the Patreon with the articles, and I look forward to seeing you for readings. So yeah, and come, because I'm going to be giving my Christmas promotion, and you want to get that in my newsletter, and you'll see what that's all about. Thank you, my darlings. Bye for now. Bye.